Welcome to Action Game Station. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some new 2D action RPGs coming out in 2025. Just a quick note, most of these games lean towards a top-down 2D perspective, and the order of the list doesn't mean it's ranked in any way. So, without further ado, let's get started. Coins is an old-school action RPG with Souls-like elements and handcrafted pixels set in the fantasy world of Grandmark. The combat system in Coins is simple but satisfying, and this game has a mana and stamina system, so you have to be smart to manage the use of magic and stamina. The real-time quest system and the lack of clear clues mean you have to think on your feet to complete missions. Boss battles can be tough, especially when you're low on mana or health potions at the wrong time. Coins is set to be released in July 2025, with the demo offering 1 to 2 hours of content and the full version lasting around 6 to 8 hours per playthrough. But before we dive into the list, I want to share the best platform for buying games today, and that's Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect website to buy games these days. Not only do they have amazing discounts, but they're also running giveaways you don't wanna miss. Like, seriously, look at these deals. For real, these deals are unbeatable. Do you really think you'll find amazing discount at another place? On Instant Gaming, you can buy games for various platforms including PC, PS5, Xbox, and even Nintendo Switch. Your transactions are legit, super fast, and their support team is ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. So what are you waiting for? Go check out your favorite games by using the link in the description below and start saving money today with Instant Gaming. By using my link, you're not only saving a ton of money, but also supporting this channel. Alright then, let's get back to the list. Cedric Odious is a new pixel art action RPG set in a dark and dangerous fantasy world. You play as Cedric, a warrior king who is resurrected by his old friend Odious, a cruel wizard. The stamina mechanic is really interesting, and good timing is required to master the attack patterns of all the different enemies. There's a lot of depth and polish here, with a bit of humorous dialogue sprinkled in. Recommended if you like fast-paced fantasy-themed swordplay. For a free game, this is really fun. Even though the Chinese translation is machine-generated, you can still understand how to play. Tearscape is a 2D top-down action game with Metroidvania element that mixes fast-paced combat, exploration, and pixel art visuals inspired by the Game Boy Color era. Combat in this game requires precision, so every attack and dodge must be done at the right time. Like Souls-like games, stamina is an important factor. A slight miscalculation and you could be hit by a deadly enemy attack. If you're into Souls-like and Zelda-style exploration, Tearscape is definitely worth a shot. It starts out a bit easy, but the atmosphere is strong, the controls are comfortable, and the exploration is fun. Willow Guard, an indie RPG that mixes dungeon crawling action with an interactive story, is set to be released in March 2025. Based on the info we've seen, it's shaping up to be one of the indie games you shouldn't miss. In the game, you can build action decks with Willow Guard's special abilities to take on increasingly tough monster hordes. On top of the campaign mode, there's also a dungeon run mode for those who just want to dive right into the action without worrying about the story. Tainted Soil is a story-driven adventure game with a top-down action RPG style of gameplay, offering fast-paced combat against enemies with diverse designs and behaviors. The world in this game is crafted with great detail and flavor, providing an exciting exploration experience. You can explore the land and water, choosing the path you want, but be careful because powerful enemies are ready to come your way. One of the cool features in this game is the alchemy system. You can collect ingredients like plants, crystals, and potions to create potions that can heal, enhance abilities, or even be used as weapons. Anseion is an MMORPG that presents an exciting adventure with a variety of interesting features, from thrilling PvP to crafting and character customization. This game also provides the opportunity to join teams and guilds, and cooperation is the key to defeating stronger enemies. One of the best features in Anseion is the freedom to mold your character to your liking. You can choose attributes that make your character stronger, whether you want a warrior with magical abilities or a mage with a sword. You can also meet other players, form friendships, and share experiences. Ancient Kingdoms is an RPG game that offers an engaging gaming experience with a variety of multiplayer features, although I focus more on the single-player mode. In this game, you can choose from classes such as Warrior, Cleric, and Druid, each with a different playstyle. The combat system is quite interesting, allowing players to use ranged weapons like arrows or melee weapons like swords. This 2D action RPG game can be played by up to 4 players. It's definitely more fun to play with your friends. The game just came out, but it's already showing a lot of promise with all the features it's got. If you're into RPGs with multiplayer, you should check it out. Sang the Desert Blade is a new Souls-like RPG game that's similar to Hyper Light Drifter. You can play it using a mouse and keyboard, and there are several classes, such as Warrior, Thief, and Visionary. Each class has its own fighting style. There's also a leveling system and talent points that make you have to think of strategies when fighting. The boss battles here are quite exciting. The hard mode makes battles more difficult, but it actually makes victory feel more satisfying. Overall, even though Sang the Desert Blade is still in the demo stage, it already shows a lot of potential. Last Moon, a top-down RPG demo made by Skill Studio from France. The game looks awesome, with a classic feel mixed with a modern twist. As you play, your block abilities change depending on the weapon you use, and campfires become useful respawn points to restore health after learning moments. The gameplay really invites you to jump right into the action. You'll be slashing swords, dodging enemy attacks, and blocking attacks with precision. There are also light puzzles that you have to solve alongside the action, like sliding a stone to reach a switch or defeating a hiding enemy to open a new path. Creature Keeper is a game where you can tame monsters. It combines action RPG, crafting, and adventure elements. In this game, you'll fight alongside the creatures you've tamed in real time. You can form teams of your favorite creatures and strengthen them in various ways, such as cooking delicious food, crafting trinkets, and collecting power-ups from the Pocket Garden and Bestiary. The Bestiary is a place where you can collect information about the creatures you encounter, including their skills, recipes, and other information. The more creatures you encounter and defeat, the more content you can unlock. Sea Fantasy is a game that takes the simple idea of fishing and turns it into an exciting adventure. You play as Rod, a 16-year-old boy who travels the world to fish. The fishing mechanic is very cool. You have to see the shadow of a fish in the water, then cast the line with the right timing. The progression system in this game is simple but fun. You can level up from your fishing activities and choose various upgrades that affect how you fish. You'll also need to manage your money carefully. You can buy new equipment, pay for boat tickets between islands, and stay at inns to restore your health. Rubinite is an indie boss rush game with Souls-like elements. The game offers a gameplay experience that focuses on battling challenging bosses with combat mechanics that combine speed, precision, and strategy. After defeating one boss, players can move on to the next area to face the next boss. Despite its focus on boss battles, Rubinite also offers story elements that follow the journey of the main character, Ruby, a princess seeking revenge for the fall of her kingdom. The game features a unique system called Observation Gauge, where players must focus on enemies to fill the gauge and perform critical hits. Crashlands 2 is a challenging and creative action-adventure game. It's a sequel to Crashlands and offers a more exciting combat system than its predecessor. In it, you can fight with a variety of weapons, ranging from melee weapons to unique ones like throwable fish. Crashlands 2 also gives you many ways to avoid enemy attacks. For example, you can perform a dodge roll that is, dodge with quick movements, or use your invisibility ability to attack suddenly. All of this makes combat in this game more strategic and action-packed. Alabaster Dawn is a new action RPG game from Radical Fish Games, the developer behind CrossCode. The game features a dynamic combat system with melee, ranged, and elemental power attack elements. The story follows Juno, who wakes up in a ruined world without divine guidance. Her task is to awaken humanity and fight a mysterious entity called Nyx. Juno has 8 weapons that can be paired to 2 different elements, allowing players to switch weapon and element setups even during combat. The combat system is inspired by Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, and CrossCode, with quick movements and mechanics such as parry. Heroes of Hammerwatch II is a fun roguelike action RPG where you take on an evil cult. It's like Diablo, but with more chances to die and try again. In this game, players fight an evil cult by exploring dungeons and defeating enemies. Death is part of the gameplay, but each death grants progression through a meta progression system. You can build and upgrade your town, which unlocks new upgrades for your characters, start buffs before a run, and even modify dungeons. There are 7 different character classes, each with unique skills, powers, and 3 subclasses, and you can change the build at any time, allowing experimentation with different combinations of skills and equipment. And that's it for today. What do you think about this list? I know there are best new action RPGs that I haven't mentioned yet. Please share your 2D action RPGs that you think deserve a spot here. Don't forget to like this video and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss another amazing list. And as always, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.